Hi, I'm Wade from Thoroughbred Diesel. We're here at the 2023 National Farm Machinery Show with Luke Langelier, co-owner of S&S Diesel, and we are here today with their huge product announcement. It's their DCR pump conversion kit for the 6.7 Powerstroke. It gets rid of the faulty CP4 pump. Now, Luke, I got to be honest with you. I've been waiting to ask you this question. For a Cummins fuel system engineer, you sure are doing a whole lot of work on Fords here lately.
That's true. That's true. Well, Cummins usually does things right.
That's it. That's it.
Except for in 19 and 20 when they released with the CP4.
But you fixed that too.
We fixed that one too.
Yeah.
We had a solution for that, but then Cummins pivoted pretty hard and realized that that's probably not the most reliable pump. And
so, just kind of a quick overview for this. Guys, this is a DCR pump. This is from Stanadyne, and that's in partnership with S&S for production on this kit. This is going to be a drop-in kit. I'm going to let Luke talk at length about it, but it's going to be a drop-in kit, no tuning required. It comes with all of the fuel lines for the rerouting that you need for the kit. Again, gets rid of the problematic CP4 pump. But, looking back on how, it was a small time frame for you to have the LML CP3 conversion kits done.
Yeah.
You had the 19 Ford conversion kits done really quick. What was the biggest hurdle here, Luke, for you getting a pump on these trucks to get away from the CP4?
yeah, the biggest difference here is the base pump that we're using. So on the LML, on the 2019 and 2020 Cummins, we were using a CP3 base pump. We'd already been using those for years. We knew them inside and out. Doing lots of different modifications to make those work, because it takes a lot to actually make it be a drop-in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can figure out how to bolt the pump in, that's the actually easy part of the easy part. Make it actually integrate well, make the rail pressure control work right in the truck, all the no tuning required, emissions compliance stuff, that's where it gets challenging. So on those, we were able to pivot on that and get those developed quicker and released. And this one actually has been a pretty fast-moving product, but we teamed up with Stanadyne and PurePower Technologies. They have a base pump that's in production in other parts of the world. There's several 100,000 of this base pump out there anyways. It's not this exact version. We had to change the cam and the INV and quite a bit of other parts to make it work for this, but at least the base pumping elements and the base architecture we're confident in.
Yeah.
Versus the CP4 that's quite a bit different as far as how the bottom end works.
Yeah. So we'll kind of let Adam kind of zoom in here and just get a quick shot of the pump in the valley and just show fitment and stuff there. So this is kind of an early model 6.7 truck. So you can see even with the fitment on the DCR pump, this problematic oil feed line that we always have the problems with, we can still access that and get that out. It's a couple of the other inherent things that you're going to see on this. The fitment of this pump is still going to allow you to do that.
The cam's been designed to be able to use the factory gear still. It interfaces like normal. There's an adapter plate to get it in there, but still use the factory gear. This line set comes with it, although it looks just like the factory line set essentially. This has been designed to replace just like normal your supply and returns with a bolt to hold it down, just like guys are used to on these Fords. We've different model years, 11 to 14, for example, versus 15 to 16, versus some of the newers use a pressure switch or a temp sensor or a combo sensor or a different combo sensor. But because we want dealers and customers to be able to stock one part and not have to have it be real model year specific, this thing's been designed to have the right bosses and then adapters to adapt to any configuration of any of those. So this one kit fits everything. Quick connects to the filter, quick connects to the rail over here. It's been very intentionally designed to be as seamless integration as possible.
Yeah. I guess we'll slide over the table and kind of look at the kit outside the truck here. My wife was holding our spot.
Yeah.
So one thing I'd ask Luke was capability of the DCR pump, because I know all of the gearheads are going to ask this. You said 1,200 microseconds is going to get you almost 25% more flow than what you had seen from testing on CP4. And I know it's kind of an arbitrary number.
Yep. So the overall displacement of the pump, it's the equivalent of an engine, like a 6.7 liter displacement, 5.9 liter, whatever else. The pumps are kind of the same way. It's the bore and stroke and what the displacement is. The displacement of this pump is larger than the CP4.
Yeah.
The thing
is a twin piston design, twin piston pump.
It's a 2-cylinder opposed. We'll show here, actually we can do it now. This is a display we put together to show really the guts of how these pumps are all different. This is the CP3 that the market's very familiar with. This is what's used for LML CP3 conversions, Rams. things like that, and is a pretty proven product. This is a CP4 variant. This is actually an LML version, but the Fords are all pretty much the same as far as the guts go. And you can see essentially the CP4 cam is a really aggressive 2-lobe cam that's rolling like that, and so there's a lot of metal-to-metal contact and high speed. What can happen is this thing can kick sideways and start digging and cutting a groove like that, which is you're never going to recover from that. And the other issue is this roller can seize, and then it just starts skidding, cutting metal out of there, and then unfortunately when it starts making metal in the bottom end of the pump, it starts feeding it to the top end of the pump, so then your injectors are eating it, your tank's full of it, and it's not just a pump replacement at that point, it's a really expensive full fuel system replacement. But you can see the CP3 variant here has got a nice eccentric cam with a polygon, so the bucket and the plunger that rides on here is just nice and easy. It gets a little bit of back and forth motion, but nothing real aggressive like what the CP4 has to deal with. And then this DCR pump, it's like Wade was saying, this was a joint development between us and Stanadyne. This base pump existed and is in production, has great results in the field, but this is also an eccentric cam. One thing that's unique about this is it's actually pressure lubricated through the cam, which is very unique for fuel lubricated pumps. This is like a crankshaft, basically, it's feeding your main and rod bearings. It's actually pressure lubed through these drillings to lubricate the actual bushings that it's living under. So if I can get that drop back down in there.
Yeah.
Basically same deal, similar to a CP3. There's a roller and a bushing, and then this plunger, wherever that went, actually rides on there. And so there's not a lot of relative motion. There's not a lot of sliding. It's just a really good design that's well validated also. So basically we took that variant of the pump and then adapted it with lots of different changes to make it all the things that we knew needed to happen based on our experience with doing it for LMLs and Cummins, and make it work for the Ford.
Yeah. So inside of the kit comes with obviously the pump, low side feed lines for it, high side distribution lines back out to the rails, and then you all have got a bracket that's going to use the mounting locations for the original DCR, or the mounting locations, then mount it back up for the Ford side.
Exactly.
And then all the hardware that you need for that.
Yep. This thing sits in the valley just like normal, and just with an adapter that lets it get the right bolt pattern, and it interfaces with, there's a bracket here that supports the factory crossover line. We retain using the factory crossover line from rail to rail, but comes with everything you need for it, and it's going to be a great solution. The thing that the Ford market's been really wishing that existed for a long time. The LML and the Cummins and everybody else got all the love on the good fuel pumps, but it took a while. I guess I don't know that we touched on the reason this has taken a while is because the Ford is a smaller V cavity. It didn't have the real estate like the Duramax did to fit this big one, because the 6.7 Ford's always been designed around a smaller, compact CP4 pump.
Yeah, Purity, you wanted to put a CP3. I'm sure that was the goal. You wanted a CP3 in the valley.
Lots of guys have tried CP3s, Denso HP4s, basically every other variant of pump that they knew about, but none of them would fit.
Yeah.
The beauty of it is this co-development with Stanadyne, and this pump does fit. It's a little 2-cylinder opposed, but it is higher displacement also. Like I say, the IMV, the curve, everything is to be a true drop-in where it follows the curve of the factory system, so you don't know any different. But it is higher output if the truck calls for it. So for competition use stuff or pulling truck or whatever that might be, it will output more fuel. Yeah. But in the normal operating range that a stock truck runs in, it follows just like a CP4.
Yeah. And then and obviously this isn't really a point, but with years and with where we don't know what that looks like, but failure mode of this pump is not going to be the same as CP4. This is the same thing as the CP3. It's got a manifold in the front of it. You're not going to have if you have a blow up here, it's not going to make it past the actuator.
Yeah, even if you get DEF in the fuel, you get water contamination, it's going to kill anything eventually. Right. But the Achilles heel really with the CP4, there's a lot of advantages to how it's built, and it's easy to manufacture, it packages well, it's light. But one of the real Achilles heels, if the pump does fail, it then supplies the top end and then contaminates everything. Both CP3 and DCR are overall, the flow path is designed different. So even if it did fail or get contamination in it or whatever else, it's not going to send that out to your injectors. It's not going to contaminate everything else. So even if it did fail, you're still saving thousands of dollars and a lot of downtime.
Yeah. Man, so, you know, it's 2023. This is day one of the release. You know, you've come out and said this is going to go to market at $1,900. So, you know, it's a sub $2,000 product, and what it's going to save is, you know, $10,000 basically of that failure.
Yeah. We literally just had a guy walk up here 10 minutes ago, said, I just had a 2012 truck, pump went down. It was 10 grand plus to get it back up and running again. So he was wishing that this was available right now.
Yeah. So many of them out there too. I mean, I've talked to two of the customers that were walking through here. Like, you know, we've got 5 or 6 trucks of them in the fleet, or 50 of them, or whatever that looks like. So it's a huge thing. Yeah, and that's what that guy said to me too. He's like, we've got 2 down the shop right now. So,
there's a lot of Super Duties out there. Farm trucks to hotshot guys to just, you know, guys like the Ford trucks, and they are a good truck. It really, we're just making it that much better. You know, I drive one personally, and they're nice trucks. But the one thing everybody's worried about is that fuel pump, and so this is the love your Ford again pump.
So you and I have kind of talked, you know, about, you know, your CP4 bypass kit, how many fuel systems that saved, hundreds of thousands of them. You know, now this gives the guy an ultimate solution to that problem. Now you don't have to worry about buying another $700 CP4 pump. You've saved your injectors. You know, this is a one-time option on it. But one thing I didn't hear you say. Low side pressure doesn't need to be adjusted. This is true drop-in, so no tuning we know, but low side pressure doesn't have to be adjusted or anything like that.
The low side pressure, so the Fords just have an electric supply pump that you key on, that thing's running. And that actual pressure is regulated in the CP4. And in this case, it's regulated in this flange too. So that's another example of this pressure regulator is built specifically to match the curve that it was. It's not working that electric pump any harder. We've tweaked it to really optimize the pressure control. It's been an in-depth project for sure, but it's to be done as seamless as possible.
It's awesome. We're excited about it, and we're excited to offer it to you all. You know, time frame on this, we're thinking maybe middle of the year or something like that.
So, Q2 23 is what we're targeting for release. So, like I say, today is the first day we unveiled it and announced it. We wanted to get it out to the world. The farm show is a great place to do it at. There's probably more Super Duties in the parking lot here than there is any other event in the whole country. So we wanted to get it to the guys here that are really working their trucks, and get it out so people could start learning about it. You can go to ssdiesel.com/DCR to get on an email list to be notified of when it is available, so you can go and get it from Thoroughbred. You guys will probably have some info forms as well, so that you can stay up to date on it. We've got these in field test different parts of North America currently, from, you know, farm trucks to hotshot trucks to ambulances to a little bit of everything, just really running it through the ringer. We've got a little bit more validation testing to go, and then production. It takes a while to actually spool up a product this scale, so that's what we don't want to rush it. We want it to be right.
And going to be one part number.
One part
11
number.
up, so 11 to 22, we know.
So we're initially launching at 11 to 19 with plans for 2020 and up. It will fit everywhere. But 11 to 19 runs at 2,000 bar rail pressure max, and 2020 and up runs at 2,500 bar rail pressure max. Rail pressure is variable based on engine speed and load and everything else, right? It doesn't run at 2,500 a lot, but just because it does technically capable of running at the higher pressure, we're doing a lot of due diligence with long life durability testing and duty cycle analysis and all kinds of stuff to make sure that this thing will have no problems at 2,500 bar either.
There's going to be guys that know if the rail pressure sensor will pack it, they'll try to run it.
Exactly.
So, awesome. Man, big congratulations, because I know this is a huge thing for you, huge thing for your company, and you know, we're super proud to offer it as a retailer. You know, so thank you for taking time to talk to us. I know there's 50 people trying to talk to you right now, so we appreciate you taking the time.
We appreciate you guys coming to the show and taking the time. You're a massive partner of ours, and this product in particular, so it's important for all of us and important for the market. I hope everybody's excited about it as we are.
So same with you guys. Y'all are a huge part of what we do as far as the performance side, so thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks.